All right, welcome back to another episode of Foreplay Podcast. It is Trent and myself today with Brendan Jones on the ones and twos. Riggsy Boy is out at the Barstool Classic in St. Louis at Bogey Hills. We are brought to you, as always, by Chevrolet. The athletic, bold, commanding Equinox EV helps you show up in style, though looking good on the course is still up to you. But when you get to the course, the drive up to the course, that's all on Chevy. They're going to make sure that you looking good, you're feeling good. That infotainment screen, that 17-inch diagonal center screen, it's the largest of any EV in its class. Trent, we get into some hypotheticals today. We listen to some voicemails. We talk a little bit of the Tour Championship. We talk a little bit about being an expert in things. It's a great episode. Just me talking with my pal Trent today. On a nice Thursday afternoon.
Yeah, as you would imagine, a Frankie and Trent show, a little off the wall. You never know what you're going to get. We go in a million different directions, but we had a very good time. It was a fun podcast to do. And yeah, it's all thanks to our great friends at Chevrolet.
If it's the distance that you're after, the Equinox EV offers 319 miles of EPA estimated electric range with front wheel drive. Leave the driving to Equinox EV and show up to the course energized with available Super Cruise hands-free driver assistance technology. When it comes to EVs, Equinox EV is the smartest choice that you can make. But if anyone outside your immediate family ever says something akin to you missing your shadow, you die instantly.
I think you could go pretty long. I think you really could. How often?
Imagine the moment when you step outside in the sun and someone's like, bro, you not have a shadow and you're dead. You're like, no,
gone.
Woo! Foreplay presented by Barstool Sports, proudly partnered with Chevrolet. Trent Ryan, myself, Brendan Jones. How are you guys doing on this Thursday morning here in May? Just a beautiful, beautiful day, beautiful time of the year. Riggsy, he is out in St. Louis. He's out doing the Barstool Classic, which I feel like is just moving on without me because I'm siloed in this house with bearing child. We are holding child in this home. So I am here on Long Island. Trent Ryan, you were back in Jupiter, Florida. Brendan Jones, you're here on the island with me. No Riggsy today. How you boys doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah, the Classic continues to roll on. I know next week it's in Indy. I believe it's near or even part of a racetrack in Indianapolis.
That's right.
And then we're going to Thornberry Creek, the home of Beef. Beef returns home, a triumphant return. So yeah, this thing just kind of rolls along. I'm doing great. It is getting humid down here in Florida. I know Brendan Jones knows all about that. I moved down here in October, and it was the greatest 5 months you could ever have in terms of weather. And then people told me, and then they were like, it's going to flip. It's going to be hot and muggy and soupy. And it is. And all the old people are gone. So now there's less people here, but it's really, really hot, but I'm still enjoying it. And yeah, it's good. You know, everything's good.
Florida gets that feel because my grandparents have a condo, or had, and they're both passed on now. Love you, Nanny and Pop Up. They have a place in Pompano Beach. So, and you know, we still have it. So my dad and my aunts and everyone, they kind of just share the time there and they'll go down. We've had it in the family forever. But there is that feeling when you go during the summer of you can't get that stickiness off of you or the heat. And the air conditioning almost feels uncomfortable because it's like you have to have it on so hard and so high and it's so cold. And then outside is so sticky and hot. And don't get me wrong, we have a lot of humidity here on Long Island, but we don't get that like where you can't get it off of you. You know what I mean? And Florida to me in the summer, now you're like closer to the coast, so it's probably not as bad. But like you go somewhere in like when you're in Orlando in the dead of summer, good luck. Good luck being outside.
And we're not even that far into it. It's May 28th when we're recording this podcast. Like, you want to talk to me I'll talk to you in August when, it's just going to be all over me. Again, I'm still happy that I moved down here. It's a great place. It's beautiful. No taxes, all that stuff. But I mean, Brendan Jones knows he lived down here for a few years, I think post-college. And I mean, what am I in for the summer?
You got to go AC to AC to AC. It's very similar to the winters here in the Northeast. It's like you go from your heated house to your heated car to another heated building, and it's honestly just the opposite down in Florida, in my opinion. So it's You go from your AC house to your AC car to the AC grocery store. And if you want to go outside, you pick the right times of the day to try and go out and stay, where the sun's not at its height. And then, like you said, you're on the coast, dude. Go to the fucking beach and jump in the water and find some place where there's a slight breeze. Wear a hat, you're fine, dude. Fine.
The other thing too is there is a mass exodus that happens. So like now when I go to the grocery store, I'm in the front row. I'm parking my car in the front row. Like when it's peak weather season, October to let's call it April, I'm parking in the back of the grocery store because there's so many cars there. Tons of people. Everybody leaves. I can play golf whenever I want. The golf courses down here, they do things called reciprocals where you can play other golf courses if you're a member somewhere else. Like there is that part of it where all the old people go back up north, and I'm still young and I can still take the heat. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, it gets hot every once in a while, but like it's kind of nice living in a beautiful, beautiful place now where like I feel like a third of the population has just disappeared.
You definitely get the winters when we're all bundled in our houses and we have the heat on and Christmas trees are up and it's just you're in the dead of winter here in the Northeast or in the Midwest or anywhere north. And I'll always say that I love that part of it, but you also like just want to be comfortable. Like there is a part of your brain. It's like I'd just rather be in like a t-shirt, just walking down a boardwalk. And that is like a beautiful part of life. But yeah, this part like right now, I think is where we kind of get to hold our chins up where we're walking around in this 68-degree slight breeze. I played golf yesterday, played Shinnecock, if you ever heard of it. 67 degrees, slight breeze, maybe out of the south, I'm going to call it. I don't even know where the breeze was, but just on the second hole, we all looked at each other and said, we don't even feel the air. You could feel the wind, but you don't even feel the temperature. It's perfect for your skin. There's something about it that your body doesn't even feel like it's outside. It doesn't feel like it's anywhere. Because even on the inside, like right now in my house, I feel a little hot. There's no breeze on me. Like and then outside, if there's too much of a breeze, like you feel cold. Yesterday felt like there was no weather.
Well, yeah, that's ideal. And that's what when Florida transitions into the summertime, it doesn't have. You don't walk outside and think, oh, wow, I don't feel anything. You feel wet and soupy and different. So yeah, there is that part. Like right now, you've got a couple of weeks here probably where you can hold your head a little bit higher. You can brag about how the weather's really nice, and then it kind of gets hot everywhere. Like if
it starts to even out.
Yeah, if I were anywhere, if I were in Iowa, if I were still in New York, like the summers in New York City, I don't know if it's more so when you're living in the city. It's thick and there's a lot of people and everybody's touching each other. You're on the subway, you're sweating on each other. And it's just so, there is a grace period for up north right now, it feels like, where when you can't feel the weather, when you aren't commenting on the weather one way or the other, it's too hot, it's too cold. That's a nice place to be.
Yeah. I mean, New York City definitely has the concrete jungle aspect to it where you just don't feel that breeze. You go to like the edges of New York City, you start to feel that breeze coming off the water. You're like, this is a nice little spot. And that's why it's $2 million a year for like a flat there.
Correct. Do you want to get into you playing Shinnecock or like what?
I did play Shinnecock. Yeah. I mean, I could talk about it. Played Shinnecock. They're having a US Open there next year. How many times have you played Shinnecock now?
The
fourth time I've played. I've been lucky enough to go out there a decent amount of time. Went out with Big Cat. He shot, I think he shot 72. Big Cat shot 72.
I remember that scorecard, yeah.
And I've played a couple times with the New York Islanders. Luckily, I've gotten in that little golf crew, and, opposing fans will say that we get all the chances in the world to golf during this time of year because we're not playing in the playoffs. Yeah, I went out there with Brock Nelson, Matt Martin, and Kyle Palmieri. Brock Nelson is just a special cat. He's one of those guys that you just can't beat in anything. You ever have a guy like that in your crew? Like no matter what you do, play cornhole, you play ping pong, you play video games, you play anything, he just like beats you.
I never had a guy like that in my crew, but if you have a guy like Brock Nelson around you, you're going to get beat in everything. Like I know about those guys. I was never that close with one of them, but like Brock Nelson has been the best at everything since he came out of the womb. He was the best when he was in Pee Wee. He was the best when he was in middle school, high school, college, has made a hell of a pro career in the NHL. Like guys like that are on a whole different level. Like, you hear stories about MJ and he's obviously in like a different stratosphere, but there's guys who are just professional athletes who clearly have more talent in their bodies and in their brains than the rest of us. That's why the cream rises to the top. And I can't imagine how good Brock is at just
Just everything. I mean, yeah, I did beat him in golf a couple weeks ago, and then he beat me yesterday, but he's calling it the match of the year because it was at SHINNECOCK. We played from like 69, 80. I think it was the red tees. I believe that was I don't know when they had the US Open there, 2002 or 2004. I think Retief Goosen won it at SHINNECOCK. So we played those tees, which was cool, like where the game has kind of come from. Like you can now play as a 6 handicap. I can play the US Open tees from the early 2000s. Just to show, like, now the US Open tees are 600 yards behind that. Playing back for where my game is right now, SHINNECOCK is the hardest golf course when the wind is up. Did I get that right, by the way? Are you looking that up?
Was it Retief? It was 2004, Retief Goosen. I actually didn't even really know that name.
Good 2004, Retief Goosen. He used to be in the old Tiger Woods video games randomly.
Retief Goosen is one of those names that I just remember from my childhood, who had not a run or anything, but he was in the mix a lot. I can see Goosen on the leaderboard a lot when I was watching golf as a kid.
Retief Goosen, Colin Montgomery, those guys were randomly in Tiger Woods like 06. Yeah, no, we played it from pretty far back, and playing back really does change the whole game. And I know that's not breaking news, but like I get into this mode where I play Colonial or I play all these courses on Long Island. I play 6,500 yards, 6,400 yards, and it becomes like driver, pitching wedge, driver 9-iron, driver 8-iron. If it's a little bit of a longer par 4, then you go out and you play a place like SHINNECOCK and you're playing from 7,000 yards and you have to hit demanding drives. And you have to think through every single shot. And on par 4s, you have 5-irons in your hand. And on par 5s, you have 3-woods to advance the ball, or you have a 5-wood to try and get onto a green. Par 3s, we played a 240-yard par 3, but it was downwind. So you're able to hit a 4-iron. And they say if you hit the left side, it trickles down onto the green. You can hit a green from 240 with the wind at your back. It's just a completely different ballpark. It's a whole new level of golf. And it just gives you this. I wouldn't say that everyone should go out and try it, because I do think that tees are there for a reason. And I think that I saw somewhere on Reddit that tees should become handicap associated, not necessarily age gapped or whatever. So or gender, right? So it should just be, if you're a certain handicap, you play from the forward. If you're the next handicap, you play one back. The next. So it's these gaps. If you're a 6 to a 10, you play the blue. If you're a scratch to a 5, you play the backs, right? And so I think that would make golf a lot easier for people. And then as you progress your game, you move back a tee. It's almost like graduating to the next tee box.
It's like belts in like jiu-jitsu or something.
That's exactly right. I don't think there'd be anything wrong with that. I think some people would have like an ego check, like, oh, you're a worse golfer, you're going to play up ahead. I just think it would help a lot with the handicaps and the matches also.
Well, I think the stigmas that are attached to tees now are ego driven, because it's age related, or it's like a mix. You don't fully know what obviously the furthest one up historically has been the women's tees. Like that's what they would call them. And but I do like the idea of handicap ones, because it gives a clearer idea of where you should be playing. Like I think now when you roll up to a tee, or you roll up to a golf course, you roll up to the first tee and people are talking about, you want to play blue, you want to play white. There's an undercurrent of, if you pick whites over blues, it's like, oh, this guy he's whatever. But I think if it were set where it's like, all right, I'm a 15 handicap, that this golf course, you play from the whites, and it's almost not an option. It's, you are going to enjoy it and you have to play it this way, because that's going to help pace the play. You're going to have a better day out there. People are going to have more fun at the golf course, have better things to say about the golf course. Like I actually think taking the debate out of it, because right now there is no real guideline. It's more about like, oh, if these guys are playing from the blues, then I feel like I have to play from the blues. You should have won 10 and you had a horrible day out there.
Yeah, and I think the handicap system, if you go on the Gin app, you can choose which tees you guys are playing, and it would change the amount of strokes that you have to give out in a match. But I just think, so like it is a thing, but I do think that it should be like a standard, like you're saying, every golf course, it's like, it. We know a lot of things about golf right when you step to the first tee. We know all the rules. We should start to incorporate that a little bit more, because I think if that becomes a part of the game, guys will feel a little bit more. They'll go on that same journey as like breaking 85 and breaking 90, where you want to get to a certain number. Like even the amateur golfer that plays once a week, or even like once every couple weeks, and they barely get out there during the summer, they'll have that thing to strive for. They're only on the white tees and they want to be able to get back. Like there's a part of your game that has a label on it now. And it might be a little bit embarrassing for some, and it might be an ego check for others. but you have this sense of like, I want to graduate to the tees behind me. And you've seen that in like YouTube videos. Guys do, I forget who does it. I mean, I feel like every group does it, but they do this like, is it the Brian Bros or someone does like the graduation of they play from the reds. I think I even saw like Melosi do it. And then you go to the whites and then like, can you break a certain number from that tee box? So yeah, anyway, playing back there, my main point was it's nice to just see that part of the game once in a while because you have such a better appreciation for what the pros do. Like yesterday, the president of Shinnecock, we saw him, Brett Pickett. He's the man. I think his father actually owned the New York Islanders back in the day. So that's kind of the connection. He's the absolute best. He literally is the president of Shinnecock, one of the more impressive people I've ever met in my entire life. We saw him at the club yesterday, and he was like, enjoy it out there. I honestly think that we could host a U.S. Open tomorrow if they all just rolled in and played. And we didn't really know what that meant until we got into the first tee and the rough was up and you were losing balls right off the fairway and the greens were running perfectly. It was in perfect shape. But like I went out there, hit the ball really well. My long irons were phenomenal. I really didn't miss hit like a 4-iron or a 5-iron. At one point I hit a 4-iron. I was 191 and it was a little bit into the wind and like a little bit uphill. And I hit a 4-iron to like 11 feet on this crazy green. What was it? Was it 13? I think it was the green. Yeah, I think it was 13 where Phil ended up, you know, that green that Phil just like gave up and he just hit the ball as it was rolling.
Lost his mind.
Yeah. So like I was hitting good shots and I shot an 85. I honestly think if I putt better, which is always my story, I would have shot like low 80s, no problem. Like there was a lot of 3 putts, a lot of lag putts that went too far. But you just get this appreciation. Like I was talking with like Brock shot at 82, I think. And I think Palms and Marty were like low 90s maybe, or like high 80s. So we all played pretty damn well for how hard that course was. But we all looked at each other at the end and we're like, can you imagine going out there and shooting a 68 on that course? Like you really get an appreciation. We do feel that because the game is the same that we watch on TV, but it's not really because like they're playing a totally different game from those back tees. They really are. It's a completely different game. Hitting 3 woods and 5 woods into those types of greens and getting them to stay and hitting 5-irons, 225 yards and getting them to stop and making putts and these bunkers getting up against lips, like hitting these little chips. When you miss the green at Shinnecock and it rolls off into this chipping area and it goes into the rough, like maybe 1 inch into the rough. It's like your foot is submerged in rough. You got to get this thing on the green, have it stop, or else it's going off the other side, this turtleback green. The fact that they're able to do this stuff is like, we're not even on the same planet. I don't even know where I could have gotten 15 more strokes yesterday. You know what I mean? Like I hit the ball pretty fucking well. I think I hit like 11 fairways, smoking the ball. Where was there 15 or 16 more strokes? I don't even know. That's so many.
Well, how many, did you make any birdies?
I made no birdies.
That's where they do birdies. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they're. I
mean, I also shot an 85. I get it, but like, I don't know. Fucking didn't like Justin Thomas shoot in the 80s a bunch of times last year. Like it's possible. Times. Like these guys. So it's like I don't know where these guys find these. It's just it really does. And I keep saying it's an appreciation for the game. It opens your eyes. Like all 4 of us couldn't stop talking about how incredibly hard golf is at a major venue like that from as far back as they play. Hard to wrap your head around.
We started this conversation talking about, you know, attaching handicaps to tees. And I think it's a good idea, but also it's worth it every once in a while to try to step up and like play from the tees where you don't feel comfortable in a way that you're talking about right now, because then you do gain an appreciation for it where you're like, all right, so I'm attached to this tee and I play this tee pretty much every time I play. Let's try today to go back a little bit and see how different the game is. Because the game gets way different, like you're saying. Like normally when we're playing or when we're shooting a breaking 85 or breaking 90, you and I, we play like a mix of the blues and the whites, and you know, you hit the ball a long way. So you got a lot of 8-9 irons in, and that's, you know, that's one type of the game. And now you are describing a type of game, like you said, where there's a lot of 3 woods, a lot of 5 woods, a lot of 4 irons. Like, you know, there's rounds I'll go where I won't even not touch it. I won't even look at my 4 iron. I'll attach my towel to my 4 iron because I'm not going to use that fucking thing. There's no way. And so to play from tees and at a golf course like that, where you're going to go through pretty much the whole bag, I think is worth it every once in a while just to see how different the game can be from one yardage to the next.
Speaking to this, like how you can go out and just play like the pros and on the same type of terrain and tees and all of that. I think we have a clip that Brendan has queued up of Lydia Ko. Speaking of major championships, they're playing one at Erin Hills, which to me is like a little bit similar to a Shinnecock, where you got those rolling hills and all the fescue and the greens are out of control. But listen to what Lydia Ko says about how she was able to prepare for the Women's U.S. Open at Erin Hills.
Whose YouTube channel did you watch?
I watched the Bryan brothers, and I think Wesley Bryan was trying to like get his revenge from 2017, and I think it's the series where they do it with Grant Horvat, and it's like going to major championship courses. I think they played at the Anwa course quite recently with Alexa Pano. So I got into YouTube golf because of my husband, and I won't be shy to say I watch it on my own now.
There you go.
So yeah, they watched. I mean, she's watching a YouTube video on how they played the golf course, and there was another clip of her saying that there were parts she watched to see where they left balls or where runoffs were or how they approached certain shots. And I mean, obviously those are two pros and they're playing with Grant Horvat. But in their series, that major cut line series on YouTube, they're able to play the same course. They could go to a Shinnecock, I'm sure they will before the U.S. Open, and play it from the back tees and show people this is how an amateur plays it and this is how a pro plays it. It just goes to show like how incredibly unique golf is that you're able to do that, where a pro, the best in, obviously it's like her and Nelly, but the best women's golfer will watch a YouTube video to prepare for a major championship. That to me was like out of control.
It is funny. Like we've got an OAKMONT video coming out, I would guess in the next couple of weeks, where me, Francis, and Riggs did stroke play out at OAKMONT. The value of watching that video is that those balls are going to be places they're going to be in places where those golfers will never be. So it's like you got to watch Wesley Bryan and Grant Horvat play because those are more similar types of games. Those are pro golfers. Like when people watch the OAKMONT video, a professional golfer is going to never see some of the spots that we end up in. But that clip just goes to show how big YouTube golf has gotten. And we don't have to wax poetic about that on this show. But like the fact that there's professional golfers watching YouTube videos to prepare for major championships, I mean, it's just, this whole thing has gotten to an insane level.
It is funny that you guys have that video coming out. I completely forgot that you have OAKMONT coming out. That's crazy that you guys went out there and filmed you guys played from the US Open tees?
Oh yeah.
That's absurd.
Dude, I'm very excited for people to see it because the benefit for our side of it where, Lydia Ko or some other professional golfer is not going to be watching that video to get tips and how to play the golf course. But what we wanted to show was the three of us have varying handicaps. What would the three of us individually shoot at OAKMONT from the US Open tees with the rough playing up, with the fairways running, with the greens running? And that's where we want to show the game of golf. Like obviously Wesley and George and certainly Grant to an extent, they show like, wow, look at us. We're, you guys like watching our YouTube channel. Here's how we would play Erin Hills or Shinnecock or whatever. We do it for the people who are 15 handicap, 4 handicap, 7 handicap. What would they shoot at a major championship venue? So yeah, I don't know. Brendan can probably speak more to that when that video is coming out, but I'm sure it'll come out around US Open.
That bad boy's coming out the Wednesday before the US Open.
There you go.
And I'm sure a lot of them are going to be coming out around then. There was a lot of media members out there, but there will be a little taste for everyone. Like you said, like there's going to be the Bryan bros. There's going to be Grant playing it. Bob and the guys will be playing it with Perez. And then all of a sudden you got Trent out there playing from the back tees, seeing how he can stack up. You could literally take Trent Ryan's game and mirror it to a Bryson DeChambeau on the same exact tee boxes, same greens, same fairways. How does one guy play compared to the other? That's the beauty of this game. It's really what I've been talking about this whole time, that I can go out. Luckily, I got the Shinnecock, which is like an outrageous one. Luckily, you guys got the OAKMONT, but you can go out and just play the same tees, the same place as these guys that we get to watch on TV, and we're in awe of them, and you really get to see just how good they are. It's just, it's an amazing place. You make that left, there's like this road, there's one road into the Hamptons, and you're just driving by a bunch of like little mom and pop shops, and there's a lot of traffic, and it's just a very populated area because it's like one road in, one road out. So they call it the trade parade in the morning, where like all these people that like work there, right? It could be landscaping businesses, it could be like construction companies. They only have one road in, so you got this huge just bottled up amount of traffic going all the way out to the tip of Montauk, and you have all this chaos, and then you make this left on Tuckahoe Road, and it's a main road, and you see the clubhouse just up there on a hill, and you can't believe you're there. I'm such a huge views guy, and you guys know that when I do my rankings, it's always got a little bit of water involved in it, whether it's Pebble Beach or, Bandon Dunes, whatever. Like, I love having a view. For a place that doesn't have a view, it's amazing how beautiful Shinnecock is. It really is. I don't know how they did it. I guess that's what makes it incredible. Like, you really don't understand why it's so beautiful when you're looking at it. It's just this open field of golf holes. Just the way that it's routed, how you can see every single hole out there, and you can see that huge clubhouse just up there on the hill with all. And there's so many different like aim points, like the chimney on the right side of the clubhouse, and split the chimneys from the other way. It's just like, it's such a special place. And it really isn't just because it's Shinnecock. Like, the holes are just unbelievably fun to play. A lot of times you get swept up in things, especially me.
How was that fescue? I remember, so I've been lucky enough to play Shinnecock a few times too, because one of my really good friends who listens to this show, shout out Mike Moynihan, was the assistant pro there for a long time. So I probably have played Shinnecock legitimately 3 times as well. And it's just obviously one of the best places in the world. But I just remember every time I'd be in that fescue, it was like 58 degree, like diagonal out. So I don't know if they ever have it lower, but I'm always curious to hear about the penalized.
I don't know if the fescue is as high as it would be for the U.S. Open, because it's not that time of year yet. I feel like in like mid-August or July, like even after the U.S. Open, it'll get even higher. I feel like when it gets that like really brown, like golden brown kind of touch to it here on Long Island. But it was still thick. Like, we were stepping over balls and hacking things out with wedges, and it's not easy. It's not easy if you miss those fairways. And there's a lot of like landing spots that are like 15 yards wide, it feels like. And if you miss that, you just do not have an iron in. So really, again, it's just a really hard sport. It's fucking impossible. And I can't even imagine playing it when it's even more hard than what we played. It's crazy. It's like,
it's interesting you talk about getting swept up in places, and just sort of like it gets momentum in the world of golf where it's like, oh, I love this place. Everybody loves this place. Like, and then you go there and you love it, but you almost feel like you have to continue carrying the torch of like, all right, people love this place, so I love it too. When I went to Oakmont, and we just talked about it again, but when I played Oakmont, I left that place actually being like, I love this place. And the reason is because it's playable. Like, there's not a lot of water. It's all kind of in front of you, not a ton of forced carries. Like, when I played the back 9 at TPC Sawgrass, and I played it from all the way back, that was a nightmare because there were a bunch of forced carries where if you don't carry it, you're going to end up in a really bad bunker or water, and you're just fucked all day long. Oakmont's not like that. You can kind of blast it wherever you want, and then it's up to you to make your way to the green. The worst you're going to deal with is incredibly thick rough, which is not easy. But I played the same ball all day long at Oakmont. I didn't lose a single ball. And that, to me, when I say I love Oakmont and I loved playing it, that's not me carrying the torch of everybody else loves this place, so I feel like I have to as well. Oakmont, to me, really fit my style where if I'm not going to lose a ton of golf balls and I can just keep it in front of me and I can keep playing, like, that's the type of place that I love.
Segueing a little bit to another golf course that we played in Atlanta, I'm sure a lot of you have seen the Spittin' Chiclets match. Foreplay versus Spittin' Chiclets is out. It's cruising to 1 million views right now, which is good for the fellas. We knew it was going to be a banger. We knew a lot of people were hyped up for it. 7 years in the making with Whitney and Riggs. 10 years since I was a waiter for Keith Yandel and Kevin Hayes at Borelli's Italian Restaurant when they came in from the Marriott. I guess they were playing the Islanders the next day. I thought they were, but I think some people have kind of debunked. I don't know if like Yandel says he may have been there like for a nephew's like event or something. I can't really remember that. I just remember them walking in and me serving them Peronis and them being super nice. And I was mad because they were Rangers and I did not like that they were nice, but I hated that I was starstruck by them. I just couldn't get over it. I'm like, fuck, I wish I didn't think these guys were cool because they're New York Rangers.
You're a hockey fan, I would say, first and foremost. Well,
I hate the Rangers, but
I know you do. But I guess you're an Islanders fan first and foremost. But you love hockey, so
yeah. I mean, I'm a jock sniffer, as Biz likes to call it. Like any guy that wears a jock strap, I'm all over that.
That I will say that picture from Shinnecock is like I mean, you could ask a million people which guy here is not the professional hockey player, and a million people are going to get it right. The jaw lines are so different. They're almost, your hands are up on their shoulders, and it's almost like your feet are almost off the ground, like you're just there. But that is what it is, you know. But you love
genetics.
hockey, so it's genetics.
Spittin' Chiclets, yeah, that match. I mean, listen, it's I think I didn't watch. It's a 3-hour movie. It's a movie, is what this video is. So I haven't watched the whole entire thing. Shout out to Brendan, Kyle, Timms, Jared, the whole entire squad that edited it. Shout out to Spittin' Chiclets crew who thought that they were going to be putting out and editing the first version of it, the first 9 holes. But we ended up doing. So the reason why it's 27 holes, when we got there, we had the idea that it was going to be 3 separate 9-hole videos. We only had 1 day. That's the biggest caveat in this whole entire thing. Spittin' Chiclets only had 1 day to film with us. So when they did stuff with Bob and all these other guys, they had more time because their schedules were just way more open. Okay, that's just a simple fact. They did do a 2-day trip to Florida with Bob Does Sports, and they were able to film 2 18-hole matches, one for one channel, one for the other. For this one, Biz called us and was like, listen, I can't do more than 1 day, so let's try and fit as much as we can in one. So we came up with the format that we were going to do a Ryder Cup style, 27 holes. First 9 would be on Spittin' Chiclets, and then the next 2 would be on Foreplay. When we did the video, it felt like things didn't get going until like the 10th or 11th hole, which is fair in like a match, right? You're kind of feeling each other out. The first 9 was a scramble, and it was really tight, and the golf was great, but like there wasn't as much animosity. And then once you started to get the alternate shot and the big shots started to mean something, and then you got to the singles, that's where we felt like things really started to rev up. So when we were done with the video, we all decided that it should just be all in one. Like, let's not try and waste it and try and be like viewer grabbers and just be like, hey, watch this 9 holes just to watch it so we can get on our channel. We actually just tried to put out the best product that we possibly could, which I think is refreshing, even for our standards. Like, we always are trying to get just videos out for whether it be ads or whatever. This was like, let's actually screw all of that and not do it the way that we felt we thought we were. We had to make business calls and make sure that it was okay that we weren't doing 3 videos and the whole entire deal. We just said we're going to make 1. And I think it turned out to be good. I know a lot of people are like, how do you have this 7-year hyped up match and end the way that it ended? I don't want to really spoil it just yet. I mean, it's been out for a week, but it definitely ended in the dark. I'll tell you that. And people are like, how could you do that? And the answer is that we just didn't have enough time. We weren't given enough time to film as much as we wanted to. I would have filmed for a week if we could have. And schedules happen and people are busy. It's the NHL playoffs. I mean, these guys are busier than anyone at Barstool Sports. So it was bound to happen that it was going to get kind of tight on the scheduling part. But so that's really the story on my end of why it was 27 holes, why it was only 1 video, and why it ended up in the dark. It was just scheduling, as fucked up as that is. And we would have loved to do a week's worth, 72 holes. I mean,
Yeah, it's just we worked with what we were given on both sides. Chiclets did what they could. We did what we could. We were going to be in that area. I think the week after we went to Macklemore. So we're like, all right, we're going to be in Atlanta. And Biz was like, all right, I do TNT stuff from Atlanta. So I got a day. And yeah, we did the best that we could. And I would say overall, the response has been incredible. I mean, it's doing incredibly well. People clearly had an appetite for our 2 brands going up against each other. We've been in each other's orbit for as long as we've all been at Barstool Sports. So it was a long time coming. And I think it's ultimately going to lead to us doing more videos with them. We had a really good time. It was a really competitive match. And yeah, I think all parties involved, as much as we all would have wanted to film for a couple days or, end it in a different way, maybe, I think ultimately it was just going to lead to more matches between Foreplay and Spittin' Chiclets. And that's kind of all you can ask for.
Yeah, right now, the plan is to do a sandbagger, a traditional sandbagger on their channel the week of the Ryder Cup when we film with everybody in Massachusetts. So, it's not a one and done, and they'll get theirs and we'll do it again, and I'm pretty sure we'll do it again after that. But it was so good, so highly entertaining. Shout out to Kyle, Tim, shout out to Jared, Delibero, just grinding on these edits. It's a zillion tracers. Just kind of combing through it all too, watching 4 cart cams, right? Just to get all the little things. Every time Frankie would say, are you hitting eggs? Like, you got to listen to every mic for fucking 8 hours. And it came out great. People are loving it. The response has been good and more to come. So yeah, definitely excited to keep going with those boys.
I might next time I might force a couple waters into Riggs's hand. I might do that.
Dude, what happened?
I don't know.
I mean, I know alcohol happened, but what the fuck happened to that guy? We all drank the same amount. He had one extra drink with Yandel, and it was a blue concoction of something
that might have got
went
him.
into a cup.
Yeah,
and I don't know if that got him, but I mean, the amount, like, we were all doing the birdie shots, the Pink Whitney, and we were all drinking Trulies, and then all of a sudden, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen someone that drunk in my own like with my own eyes, unless it was like walking down the city streets of like a bachelor party. Some guys we have to like carry home, but never on a golf course have I ever seen. Bro, there's footage from that GoPro of him almost falling out of the cart.
I know.
Which is really scary. Like, he could have gotten hurt, to be honest.
It's so dangerous. Yeah. I think it's interesting. The three of us have three different perspectives on dealing with NHL players. Like, I don't know anything about hockey. So I love Ryan Whitney. I love Biz. I love Yandel. I just know them I really know them as Barstool Sports employees. So when I see them, I'm like, oh, nice. There's Whit, there's Biz, and there's Yandel. Frankie, obviously, brought up the picture. He's a hockey super fan. He was Yandel and Hayes's waiter at Borelli's a decade ago. So you sort of have that rapport with them. And then Riggs is in a different category where he played hockey his entire life. He played at a D1 level. And I think when he gets around guys like that, he really wants to be like, I'm a hockey guy too. And I think what comes with that can be like, all right, let's have these drinks. Let's have a couple extra drinks. And then you don't want to like take the pedal off the metal because you want to be one of the hockey guys. So I would guess in my brain, that's sort of what happened. Whatever was in that blue concoction drink, who knows? It seems that they kind of, that put him over the top. But I think the three of us come from three different perspectives. And Riggs is most in the territory of like, I mean, listen, he's certainly not peers with them because we're talking about NHL players. But like, he played hockey. He's watched these guys his whole life. He's looked up to these guys. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna drink with these guys.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good perspective I would have. I just think he just can't handle his alcohol. I mean, all right, you know what I mean? Call a spade a spade. The guy's falling out of the cart. So he played great too, which is such a missing part in this. Like if you watch this whole video and you see the way that he ended up, it's such a shame that he couldn't just hold a little bit more solid, because he played the best that he's played on camera in a long time.
Oh yeah.
Like going shot for shot with Whitney, that match has been kind of, and that's the thing that sucks about it getting dark, is like that match was the one that fueled all of this. That's the 7-year wait. I get it. Like, I get what people are saying when they say like, how did it end like that? That's what you guys were really pushing towards. It's just the sun got away from us and the drinks got away from us, and now we're gonna do a sandbagger to see how it all kind of unfolds. But yeah, man, I've never seen someone get that drunk in my entire life, and it was really funny to see. I mean, watching it back, I don't think I was laughing in the moment. Like, there's a lot of clips of me being like, "Are you all right, bro? Like, this is
well, you're looking out for him.
This is fucking crazy." And Brendan, I can't imagine like him being on the ones and twos filming him, being like, "We're gonna lose this guy," and he was still hitting golf shots.
Dude, the funniest part, and I remember talking to you guys about this quite a bit, because it's like, all right, like, this guy's pretty fucked up. Like, how do we handle this in the edit? And then you're like, all right, maybe you don't show a ton, but then it gets to the point where it's like, you actually can't even hide it anymore. It's like, he gets over the ball, which you got to show, right? You got to show him swinging. And then he's like, all like Gumby legs up there over the ball. And it's like, shit, well then, like, this is just part of the storyline. And then you start to really think about it, and you're like, well, you can't just have this guy pop up on the 23rd hole kind of shit face. It's like, you got to show the whole thing, right? So it's like, all right, man, here come all the shots of Pink Whitney and Truly, throughout the day. It's like, you got to show it all, because you don't want it to like not make any sense by the 24th hole when he falls out of the cart and almost stumbles into a bunker. So it's like,
and
shit.
He was still playing well, which was that you want to show that part too, where you're like, for somehow, some way, this guy is on another planet, but he's still hitting really good golf shots. So that was just that was a funny like subplot of the whole thing, where it's like, all right, we've got this match going on between these two brands, and like, people are drinking, how far is it going to go? And then, yeah, you get that.
Whit and Yans and Biz are experts in that type of environment. They're able to get you going. They're able to kind of chirp you to the point where you want to like really lose your mind. They're able to get you drunk. Like, they're perfect in that scenario. And that's why they are who they are. They're so good. They're so entertaining. I can't wait to do another match with those guys. This episode is brought to you by Brex. Every company is looking to get more from their dollars these days. Meet Brex, B-R-E-X, the modern finance platform that helps companies do just that. We have now put all of our eggs in the Brex basket. We used a competitor for years, and we honestly, as employees, hated it all. Like, we just did not enjoy doing our own expenses. So if you're in the position that this means something to you, if you do the finances at a company or whatever it might be, this from an employee standpoint, from someone that actually uses Brex to do his personal finances for our own expenses when we're traveling, I am loving using Brex. I know, Trent, it has been so much easier for us. We've just been uploading all these receipts and it does it all for us.
Yeah, no, it's actually crazy how simple it is. You take a picture of the receipt, you put it in the app, Brex autofills all of it for you. You're not manually putting all of this stuff in. And as we were doing the podcast, I just got an email about some reimbursements that are going back into my account. They keep you updated along the way. Like, this has gotten approved, this is coming in soon, all that stuff. So it really is like, it's been a revelation for expenses. Expenses take no time at all now. So I really cannot speak highly enough about Brex. And if you, like Frankie said, if you're dealing with this area in your work, recommend Brex. Get in touch with Brex and have your company use it, because it really is so simple.
With a corporate card, banking, expenses, and travel all in one place, Brex ensures that the best companies, from the fastest growing AI startups to global enterprises, can spend smarter and move faster. This has earned them the trust of 30,000 companies, including us here at Barstool Sports. We are proud Brex users here at Barstool. You can learn more at brex.com/grow. That's brex.com/grow. All right, boys, let's talk about getting your money in the game the right way. You know how we obsess over reading every green, every club selection, every wind adjustment. Well, trading crypto is the same. You need precision, reliability, and a platform that actually works when things heat up, and that is Kraken. Buy, sell, and swap over 300 cryptos, whether you're stacking Bitcoin like it's a Sunday pin placement or you're hunting for the next altcoin play. Kraken's got you covered. Kraken Play is instant crypto payments. They send and receive payments in seconds with zero fees. Settle bets with the boys, split the tab after 19 holes, pay for that emergency mid-round Bloody Mary, all without the hassle of traditional banks. And here's a little bonus for the squad that's listening. Kraken is rewarding up to $200 in USDG, $200 in USDG when you share your referral link with family and friends. Help them get in the game and you earn rewards. Okay? Just like a friendly skins match, you send a referral link on Kraken to family and friends, and when they sign up, you're getting $200 in USDG. The best way to play the game is dollar cost averaging your investment strategy with recurring buys on Kraken. You can link your bank in minutes, automate your investment monthly, weekly, or even daily, and stack Bitcoin effortlessly with lower fees. So if you're looking to get into crypto, play it smart, get on Kraken, lock in your strategy, and let's send this thing. Head to kraken.com/barstool. Not investment advice. Crypto trading involves risk of loss and is offered to U.S. customers, excluding Washington, New York, and Maine, through Payward Interactive, Inc. Speaking of experts, did you guys see that Joe Rogan is like going to church? Have you seen all this? Did you see a lot of these posts that Joe Rogan's attending church?
I don't know what to trust on Instagram anymore. Like, I know posts from accounts that I don't follow that have, like, a lot of them have the lower third that says like breaking news, and then it has a bit of news in it, but I actually don't know if any of it's true, and I don't go look at it into any of it enough where I like know what's true and what's false. But I've seen the Joe Rogan one, and where it's like he just recently started attending church on a regular basis.
It's such a random segue, honestly, but I had to talk about it because I've been kind of like in the middle of this. He did a podcast in January with this guy, Wesley Huff. And Wesley Huff is this Canadian expert on biblical text and Christianity and old, the Dead Sea Scrolls, basically ancient languages. And he's 33 years old. He's from Canada. Now, the headlines I've seen that you've seen essentially tell a story that Rogan was so taken back by this interview and was so impressed that he's now like turned a leaf and is now going to church. And that to me made me go listen to the episode. And I'm only like an hour in. So I haven't gotten to any part that would change anyone's mind in it. It really got me thinking. They had a conversation basically this guy Wesley Huff got into an argument with Billy Carson, who's like he goes into like all these like ancient civilizations, and he thinks that he can read all of these old scrolls and all these things. Essentially what Rogan had seen was Wesley Huff got into a debate with this guy Billy Carson and dominated him in a debate, and it made Billy Carson look like an idiot and basically showed that he really isn't an expert in what he claims to be. And the only reason I bring this up is because Rogan made a comment saying, if you're an expert in something, if you really know something, you can just be like woken up in the middle of the night. Someone can ask you a question and you could be like, yeah, like this is the answer, and like be pretty confident in it. Like you don't need time to prepare. And it got me thinking, like, is there anything in the world that you are confident enough to call yourself an expert in?
Well, our dozen record would say no.
Yeah.
Maybe the Big Bang Theory. That's my niche category. I don't
think I have anything that I could hang my hat on that I'd be confident that I really know about anything. Even the Islanders, hockey, pizza. I don't know that I could hold my own with anything like that.
No, I don't think I really no. Like, I think about a guy like Robbie Fox. You could wake him up in the middle of the night and ask him anything about UFC, anything, and he'll have the answer ready to go.
UFC, Star Wars, pop punk music, anything.
I think I could do pretty good with like mid 2000s hip hop. Like, I'm really just thinking about niche categories that I would be confident putting forward to Jeff D. Lowe.
Dude, the one thing for me is Adam Sandler movies.
Yes, it is.
I think I could do it. I really do. If you were like, give me the scene in Big Daddy, blah, 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 like verbatim, or My Cousin Vinny, I think I could do it. Outside of that, like nothing. Like goaltending, no, right? There's like professional athletes way better than me. And like any other sport, obviously not. Like, yeah, no. I think that's the one. I've just seen it. I've seen those movies, the Happy Madison movies, so many goddamn times. I would love to see somebody try to stump me on them.
I mean, it's so much that your brothers put that as part of their best man speeches at your wedding. It was a whole Adam Sandler, Happy Madison speech.
They weaved it in the whole way. It was like Brendan's, like, you know, Sonny Koufax, and it was like Brendan's.
It was a whole story of Brendan's life, and then they said what character he was at the end of each story.
Yeah. The Happy Gilmore one was pretty spot on. I respect him for that. They were like, he was a hockey player and now he like does golf shit. And I was like, damn, that was pretty good.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
It's a real shame that we don't and that we can't.
Well, it just got me thinking, listening to this guy, Wesley, like how impressive you have to be as a person to like perfect something like that and dive so deep into something. I feel like I have so many things in my life, and I'm sure a lot of people listening have the same, where you have so many things that you love, but you don't like dive deeply into them where you can confidently say that you know like everything about it. You know what I mean? I love hockey so much, but I don't know every single stat. I don't know who won all the Stanley Cups. I don't know who's leading the league in points. Like it doesn't consume my brain. I'm not able to retain that information. I love everything about the Yankees, but like there might be a player that I don't recognize, or there might be like a series coming up that I'm not thinking about. Like I don't like consume myself in any. There's nothing that consumes my life. And that to me, like, I feel like I'm missing something with that. Like, I really wish that I could.
I think there was a stretch when I was probably from like when I was in my early teens to like my early 20s where I could go real deep with sports, like a lot of sports. Like that was all we did. Everybody I hung out with, my brother, his friends, my friends, all we did was talk sports. All we did was text about sports. Like, I think that would have been the closest I've ever come to something like that, where like, if you ask me a question about a certain era where I would have it, but like anymore, I don't know. As you get older, I feel like it goes one way or the other. And for a lot of people, it just goes like, I'm just trying to like get to the next day. I'm trying to get to the next moment, the next thing, the next meeting. And I don't think people like these people you're talking about, there is a level of, you have to fully throw yourself into something. And a lot of things fall by the wayside. Like these experts, they might know about one topic like you wouldn't believe, but there's other parts of things that they just don't understand at all. So like, I think there's a trade-off. I think you almost can't live a normal life if you want to be fully obsessed with something.
Like you're just Meek Phil in the regular world, but you also know everything about the Mets and the Knicks and the Jets.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? Like you're a walking encyclopedia. You're Frank the Tank. Frank the Tank uses all his energy on sports encyclopedia.
He knows everything about sports.
He knows everything about everything, actually.
True.
I think he knows everything about history and politics and everything. Frank the Tank's a beautiful mind.
Yeah. So if I were to ask you, and we don't have to do this, but if I were to ask you, starting in 2010, could you rip off Stanley Cup winners?
No chance.
Okay, I can't either, obviously, but like
the Islanders consume my life. Don't get me wrong. It affects my day to day. So I probably am being a little naive to that. Like that is my thing. Like it consumes me. I could have an argument. I can have a debate. I could really go all day talking about that. I guess what I mean is like I'm not impressive enough to be able to like sit in a real debate and like talk numbers. If someone threw something at me, I'd be able to like jump back at you down your throat. Like this guy knows. Like I honestly, aside from like what ends up happening in that episode, and if it's true that like Joe Rogan ends up listening to him and now he's starting to go to church and like he's seeing something that's different after talking to this guy Wesley, in the first hour of listening to this guy, anything that Joe Rogan even brought up, whether it be like this type of scroll that he made Jamie pull up on the screen, this guy knew everything, and then how that got there and who got there and who conquered who and where that language went and why it died off and what it relates to. And he's so good at saying like, oh, well, that word means this, which is why we have this word and that. And it's just like, bro, we're 33 years old. How do you know all this shit? Do you know like what's going on? And it's been consuming my brain so much that like I can't wait to end this podcast and go listen to him. I haven't really had the time. I was driving back from golf yesterday and I was just enamored by it. I was like,
well, you're also talking about and I'm including all of us in this, where it's like there's varying levels of IQ. Like there's some people who are just super fucking smart.
We're low.
I would say we're average, and that's like if you take a guy who is super duper smart, which it sounds like this guy is, and you have like you are willing to throw yourself into an obsession. Now you're talking about 0.001% of the population. Like you're talking about this guy like he's the norm, and you're the weird one for not having a passion like this. He's the one who is like, he's the exception to everything. Most of us are just living a normal life and can't quote the Dead Sea Scrolls.
I know. I want to be found at like my kitchen table, like diving deep into something one day. You know, I hope
papers all around you.
I hope Hannah like turns the corner and walks into the kitchen, and I'm just kind of shuffling through papers. And I don't know why I'd be doing that, like what I'm searching for, but like I want to be able to, like Brandel says, like his house is filled with notes, and papers, and he just knows everything about his sport. And I just feel like I kind of coast through. And you know, a lot of people listen to this. We have thousands and thousands of people listen to this podcast. They're like, "Thank you, Frank. We listen to you talk about nothing on this show. We've been listening for 52 minutes and you talk about nothing. You don't know anything." You know what I mean? Like there's nothing you know. I could tell stories and I can tell you my personal, like I could do that. I don't know anything, man. And we say that all the time in the dozen. I know nothing. I don't think it's starting to like really affect my brain.
I don't think people are coming to this show to listen to a bunch of guys who know what they're talking about.
I got a weird one. Because to Trent's point, you're right. It's like, how niche do you want to get? But like, here's one for your life. Like your dad is an expert at running the Borelli's restaurant.
Yeah, but some would say he like doesn't know what the hell he's doing, and that's what makes it beautiful. You know, like he's not the world's greatest restaurateur. You know, he's 66 years old, still making deliveries and stuff. I mean, he's the best person in the world. But yes, he's an expert at keeping Borelli's, you know?
That's what I'm saying. So it's all like, how far down do you want to get, right?
I mean, he's not Guy Fieri, which is like, Guy Fieri figured out a way to have a million different restaurants and the shows and stuff like that. I think you kind of opened up a can of worms there, which is where the lineage of like people not knowing a lot of stuff kind of starts out. Like we just don't know that many things. You know?
I just wanted to give your dad a shout out.
He's the best. He's the absolute best.
Yeah.
He came over yesterday. Everyone's making food. And like they're making food for us, so like we don't have to like cook and order in. It's been amazing. Like every time I open up the fridge, there's a ton of stuff. Some are chicken, steak. So my dad comes in yesterday. There's only gonna be 4 of us, and Frankie. So I guess 5, but he's not eating anything. And he brought in enough food for 20 people. I did the math. It was like enough for 20 people. 6 sides. Like he brought in wedges for salads. He brought 8 wedges. There's 4 people, so it's like now it's 2 salads a person. He brought enough steak. He said he was slaving over food for hours at Borelli's. I'm like, why are you? That's just what he does. He brings too much. It's an overwhelming amount of food. He overwhelms you. My parents both overwhelmed with food. I don't know what it is about them. They always make too much. It might just be like the Italian thing, even though my mom's not Italian. They just make too much food. You sit there and you're like, I am stuffed. How did you think that we were going to eat all this?
It's their way of showing how much they love you.
It is. I
They're
guess
just like,
that's the tale as old as time. Like,
I want to give you all this.
A mother will just keep feeding you.
Of course. Yeah. That's a
Good
great
fellas,
quality to have in parents.
Sit down. Make your pasta.
Sit down. It's like that scene in, not to stereotype it to Italians, but it's that scene in Goodfellas when they show up in the middle of the night and they need to get a knife. They got a guy in the trunk and they're just like, she's like, sit down.
I just said that.
Oh, you did? I must have missed that.
When you just said, sit down, that was me doing the quote from the Goodfellas. I said from Goodfellas and I said,
I didn't hear you say that.
And then you actually finished it. You said, sit down.
You did it so well that it just clicked my brain into that scene, which I read. Sorry, I missed that completely. I read I believe it's Martin Scorsese's mother in that scene. And he didn't give her any lines. He said, treat these men in a motherly way, how you would treat them. And that's just kind of how it unraveled.
Wow. That's great.
True.
That just gave me the chills, actually.
Yeah. So you watch, she's kind of like, she's just watching them like she's playing off what they're saying.
What do you mean? Sit down.
Yeah. It's a good knife.
You never call me no more. I never see you no more.
Yeah. I can't believe you said that quote and then I just acted like I didn't hear it because I didn't. It wasn't an acting job. But you did the sit down. That's so from that scene.
Yeah.
Sit down.
I'll make you something.
Yeah. I'm going to take this knife. It's a good knife. What a movie.
Oh my God. But yeah, man, I got to listen to the rest of that because that's an interesting one. But you also just don't know what's true and what's not, like you're saying. I don't know if he's going to church.
I know. Everything's just passing me by now. And I think that's how it is for a lot of people. The internet's just happening. And then you grab a headline and then you say what you said to me and people talk about it and nobody knows if it's true, but we're just talking and it's fucking crazy.
Funny. I don't know if I'll ever find it. I'd love to give him credit, but it's just one of those Instagram reels that just kind of come and go. And it was this comedian that was talking into his phone selfie style. And he's like, it's over. AI it's over. Right? He's like, he said, there's a video. He goes, I just saw a video of a grandma watching the trailer to GTA 6 thinking it's real life. He goes, it's over. He's like, he goes, what's going to happen when grandma watches a video of Barack Obama pulling his face off and he's a lizard or something? He's just like, what's going to happen when she sees that come across Facebook? He's like, celebrities, it's done.
Yeah.
He's like, you didn't go to the Diddy party? Someone's gonna make it so that you were there. It's over. How are you gonna prove? You know what I mean? It's done. We've gone too far.
Yeah.
It's so realistic. And dude, we deal with this all the time. If you have a parent on Facebook, that is such a hard thing to navigate right now where they've seen something and they present it as truth to you at the dinner table and you're like, Ma, Dad, like, that's not true. You know, like that is not happening. So like that's you saw that on Facebook, like that's wrong. And that's just going to keep going on and on and on. It's going to start to like, it's going to blend into reality to a point where even we're like us who have grown up with it, we're still not going to be able to deal with it.
Yeah, no, I don't know where this goes. But it doesn't feel like it's going to end in like it's not going to be a happy ending of a show. It doesn't feel like. You know what also I saw that I didn't like? This tour championship thing. If we want to steer it back to golf a little bit.
Go back to golf. Sure.
We can go back there if we want. Or we can stay on lizard people. But I think it sounds like they're just reverting back to the old system. So they're getting the tour championship. It seems like the PGA Tour made an announcement that they're getting rid of the head start. So last year, you know, Scotty has a great year. He starts the tour championship, if I can say that, at 10 under. And then that's just where he starts. And then they tier it down depending on the type of season you had. They're getting rid of that. And they're going back to just the tour championship as a stroke play event, is what I'm gathering.
32 players, 72 holes, something like that. Yeah, I don't know what the points really do then during the season. I guess it just gets you into the playoffs. And then from there, you got to just keep making the cut to get to the next event because it cuts it down. From the first playoff event of the FedEx, there's a certain amount of golfers. The next one has lesser amount, and it keeps going down until they'll get to that 32 or whatever the number is for the final now. So I guess the points get you there, but they're really not rewarding a player at all for their play during the season. So to call it like a playoffs and a championship, you're really not doing anything for the player that finished first compared to the player that finished 75th.
It wasn't clear in the thing that I read of like, there wasn't a lot of money talk on how much money you can win and if the points help that in some way. It wasn't clear to me when I read it. We talked about this on the show. I wish they would just go to match play. I know it's a huge swing, and I know there's, downfalls to that and negatives to that, whether it be, you get Scotty Scheffler in there, but you just seed it out the way that you would seed a tournament. And that's what the points are for. I mean, yeah, you can get upsets. You watch March Madness, there's upsets all the time. Or you'll get a year like this last year where I think, was it 4 number 1 seeds in the Final Four? You'll get that, or you'll get one where Scotty Scheffler gets eliminated in the second round. And that's sort of the beauty of match play. The sponsors who, buy ads on those aren't going to be the happiest, but that's sport, as Frankie says.
That's sport.
That's what it's all for. Like the reason we didn't love the head start where it's like Scotty Scheffler starting this at 10 under, it's because that just didn't, it's unnatural. That's not sport. That's giving somebody a head start. Like, congrats to Scotty for having a great year, but starting him 10 strokes, like 10 under par, made no sense. Giving him a number 1 seed in the Tour Championship match play, that is sport, and that makes sense. That's something people can grab onto. A lot of it, I'm guessing, why they got rid of the head start is because it confused the fuck out of people. We get it. We understand what's going on because we have a golf podcast and we watch it. But if you're just a casual viewer and Scotty Scheffler's on the first tee on Thursday and you see these 10 under, you're like, what's happening? I don't understand that. So it wasn't appealing to the casual viewer, which everybody wants in sports. You want people who aren't the diehards to also watch your sport. I think match play would have solved that instantly. You get people who love March Madness who are like, by the way, they're doing this, the golf version now, and they're playing for $25 million. Boom. You've already grabbed a new percentage of people who are immediately understand because they're sports fans and they've watched tournaments like this before. I just think going back to the old way, it's like a weird middle ground of, yeah, we know what we did didn't work, but we're not going to try anything new. And that's a bad spot to be.
I totally agree. I think this year, if they're trying to like wean us off of that system that we're used to now that we hated of the guys having this lead, this is, I guess, a better scenario for the viewer where it's just a clean start and everyone has a chance to win the Tour Championship, but it just ends up becoming another tournament, which I think we hate. We want it to mean something different because there's we see tournaments all year long. What's the difference between now the Tour Championship to like the 3M? Oh, it's just like more money for Scotty Scheffler if he wins. Like, we don't care as a viewer for that. Like, we're not holding any sort of special place in our heart for the Tour Championship over another event unless it's like a cool thing for us to watch.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's really what it all comes down to, is like, how cool is it to watch? Where's the meaning towards it? And what was kind of the path to that win, which they try and build through the playoffs, but the playoffs are like meaningless. Like, the playoffs mean really nothing to us. Like, it's just going to be in the top 32 players anyway. If they went to the match play, you have a Scotty Scheffler versus a Thomas Dietrich first round matchup, which is a benefit for Scotty Scheffler being the number 1 player on tour. He gets to play a guy that's not as good as him or that's not playing as well as him. He's the 32 ranked player in the world. He'll face off against Scotty Scheffler in the first round of match play. Odds are, I think in the DraftKings Sportsbook, the odds would be heavily favored for Scotty Scheffler to win that match. Now he moves on to the next one, or you even give him a bye and you move him down, and it's just like a March Madness style bracket. We talked about this in the Creator Council, which I don't even know what that is anymore. I know I have a quarter zip in my closet that says Creator Councilman member on it, but I don't know that they even listen to us when we talk. Now they're just like, oh yeah, we love all that stuff. Here comes Jay Monahan. He's going to talk to you guys and inspire you all, which it was inspiring. It was really cool. And then they went out and just did this, which is, I don't think anyone wanted. Are they giving money to Scotty Scheffler or Rory McIlroy, or whoever ends up winning the regular season, for like winning the season? Because then if not, you're not giving them anything for winning the season. That would be like a little bit of a caveat. Like, that would be a nice little touch if like you won something for just winning the regular season and then the playoffs started and everyone was kind of on the same plot, like the same starting point. Because then it would benefit you to like win the season.
Yeah.
You know?
You get some money. But again, we don't care about that. Like,
We just want to see match play. It's YouTube videos, it's Ryder Cup, all the stuff that gets people jacked up. Just do it. It's match play. It's me versus you. Who's going to move on? Who's playing better? Who's the better golfer? And listen, if this guy ends up losing in round 1, that's sport. That's like the headline.
Right.
Aaron Rye defeats Scotty Scheffler with 2 gloves and iron covers.
Mm-hmm.
Sends him packing in an iron cover.
But it's like everything else. And this is when you base decisions off of like, oh, and I don't know if they're doing this. I have no idea, but I would guess like a drastic change in what they're doing and how they're gonna do the Tour Championship is like, oh, the sponsors are a little nervous about like if people are gonna watch or if it's gonna change too much. Like this isn't what they bought when they originally bought in. Like when you start making decisions off of that, if that's what they're doing, as opposed to taking a huge swing, then it's just like, what can you do? If there was ever a time to do it, if there was ever an appetite for them to just be like, fuck it, we're doing match play for Tour Championship. Let's see what happens. It was right now. Instead, they just sort of like hedged and didn't really do anything.
I wonder if they have any pushback from the players, because I feel like from a viewership standpoint and from public perception, match play was like the shoe-in best decision for them. And I wonder if like the players union or association pushed back and they just want 72 hole events, you know?
Could be.
Because I think a lot of the viewers think that everyone wants match play, but a guy that might be like ranked 28th that like thinks he has a chance in a 72 hole stroke play event, just go out there and do the thing that got him to the playoffs. I think I've heard people say that a lot, where like a Rory McIlroy or Scotty would make a comment being like, well, this is the golf that we play. We play 72 holes.
Right. You completely change it.
And like now we get to like the pinnacle of the season, the heightened part where everything that's supposed to lead up, you play 72 hole stroke play every event to get to the playoffs, to get number 1. And then all of a sudden at the end, it's like you're playing match play. It's a completely different strategy. Completely
like, how do you feel about shootouts in hockey?
Well, they eliminate shootouts in playoffs, right? So shootouts during the regular season, to me, are very gimmicky, and the only reason they have them in is because they don't want guys getting hurt and they just want an ending to the game. They didn't want ties, and they didn't want an extra period. So they're like, what's a solution to get a winner? And it was to do a glorified skills competition, which is, to me, the stupidest thing in all of sports. I hate the shootout. I think it's the dumbest thing in all sports.
That would be a little bit of the golfer's argument if they're against it, where they're saying you're just changing everything that we did up to this point. I mean, it's still golf, though. It's a different type.
Different. It's a way different for them, and I can't pretend to know the difference. I don't play stroke play events. I'm not out there grinding for 72 holes and like learning what it takes to like just stay within yourself and if you make a bogey, like the next hole, you just like kind of just keep going and just let that go. But like when that happens in match play, you're down 1, you're down 2. All of a sudden you got to start making changes. You got to start taking risks, as opposed to, a guy double bogeys hole 1 of a 72 hole stroke event. He has so many holes to make that up. He has his system in place of his whole entire career, his whole life leading up to that moment to teach him how to navigate that stuff. I think that match play is the right call. I'm just saying, I'm looking from a devil's advocate standpoint of the player side. Maybe they're getting some pushback from them, and they're not just like pulling the freaking rug out from under the players, being like, "Hey, we're changing it totally."
I could see that. I think that's totally fair. I think there's
especially
a good
if
chance.
they're changing this stuff, because this is going into effect this year, correct?
Yeah.
So I think if they're going to do match play, they'll do it next year. Going into a new season, everyone knows what to expect. I think now that you've already played the players, you have all these events, waste management, all these events are already in the books.
Yeah.
You can't really change the playoff format too much on people.
I won't hold my breath on them changing it to match play. I don't. Ultimately, whether it's player pushback or just like sponsor side, or they don't want to change it too much, I just don't think it's ever going to actually happen, but I wish that it would. But maybe next year. Maybe
I think creating a March Madness bracket takes a lot more legwork and logistics for them that can't just be kind of thrown into rotation right away.
Well,
so I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I really think that if they're going to do it, it would be next year.
Yeah, I mean, just from a purely like looking at it from a TV angle, where you get down to the final day, you only got like 4 guys on the golf course. Like,
Yeah.
as opposed
Way
to having,
different.
well, it's way different. So I there's definitely hurdles and there's logistics and there's all that. But if we're talking about what do we think the best idea is, I still think it's match play. And you just figure it out.
We even talked in one of those meetings. We talked about match play, and they were like, "Well, what happens when it's only 4 or 8 golfers at the end, right? Like, what happens there? And like, do you have like a consolation group that's trailing behind them so that you can at least see some shots from those guys? Like, there's a lot that you got to think about. There really is.
I'm
which
not
they should be doing.
saying
That's their job, right? Like, they should be thinking about it. These are things that should just be figured out. It's like
Yeah.
we're acting like it's hard. They just figure it out.
I'm not saying it's easy, and I'm not saying it's going to be without its faults, but if you really want to change it and you really want to maybe grab people who otherwise are not ever going to pay attention to the Tour Championship, I think match play, it perks up some ears, but we'll see. It's not happening this year, but we'll see. You don't need to sink a 30-foot putt to score big this weekend. Just fire up the DraftKings Sportsbook and take your shot at the green, the kind with dollar signs. Whether you're a diehard golf fan or just in it for the Sunday drama, DraftKings has everything you need to make every round a little more exciting. Live bets, prop plays, odds boosts, and plenty more. If you're new to betting golf, it's easier than reading a green. Just pick something simple, like a golfer to win it all, lock in your pick, and you're off and running. Now here's something better than a hole-in-one. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll score $300 in bonus bets. We love the DraftKings Sportsbook. You can certainly bet on golf. You can bet on every other sport too. I've currently got an NBA bet going with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I've got them to win the NBA championship. I bet it preseason. I got it plus 700. I've been following that bet all season long. It's been really, really fun. Go on the DraftKings Sportsbook, look around, find what bets interest you, get locked in, get involved. It's really, really fun. Take your swing at winning some dough this week. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code FORE. That's FORE. That's code FORE for new customers to get to get $300 in bonus bets if your $5 bet wins. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. This episode is brought to you by Body Armor Sports Drink. Body Armor has great tasting flavors like strawberry banana and orange mango with no artificial dyes, flavors, or sweeteners. I've also got this tropical punch right here. I know Brendan Jones is also holding his favorite flavor. We drink Body Armor all the time, whether it's when we're doing the podcast, when we're on the golf course. Certainly, it's starting to get hot out there. The summer weather, it's rolling around, and we stock up on as much Body Armor as we can get our hands on. We drink it out there. You stay hydrated. Not only is it hydrating, but it's delicious. No artificial dyes, no artificial flavors or sweeteners. It's just good stuff. That's Body Armor. It's also in a bold new look with the same great taste. Get your Body Armor today at Walmart or a local grocery store near you. Again, we love Body Armor. We take it everywhere we go. Take it out there with you on the golf course. You will be happy that you did. Body Armor, choose better.
I'm going to have some popcorn tonight. It just hit my brain.
Just pure butter popcorn?
Like movie theater popcorn. I might even go to a movie theater and get it to go.
That's quite a move. It's not the same if you just pop it in the microwave?
No, bro. You need that big ass bin and that guy. You need a sweaty teen to be dipping his freaking forearm in there. That huge fucking scooper. You know what I'm talking about? You need a sweaty redheaded teen dipping his forearm into that popcorn, overfilling it, shaking it. The excess kernels are falling into the big bin.
That's how you got to get your popcorn.
Bro, movie theater experience is the fucking best. It's the best. You get that. You get a nice chocolate from me. It's a big ass large tub of popcorn.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm going cookie dough bites. And what I'm doing is, all right, and I'm also getting a cherry Pepsi. What I'm doing is cherry Coke. What I'm doing is I'm eating probably 3 to 4 kernels of popcorn with 1 cookie dough bite.
Nice. You don't mix them though, do you?
No.
Yeah, you can't. Because
it gets too messy in there.
Right. It's warm in there. Those cookie dough bites there's chocolate on them.
They instantly melt. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a little bit of crunch. I'm crunching probably 2 or 3 bites of that, and then I'm throwing in the cookie dough bite just so that at the end of my swallow, I have all salty and sweet.
This is what you're obsessed with. this is your domain. If someone if someone punched you in the stomach in the middle of the night and said, "What's the perfect movie theater snack?" you would go through what you just went through.
Well, don't sell yourself classic short. Frankie Borelli fashion, my like passion is all just opinionated things that everyone probably disagrees with. It's not like factual information that I can just state as fact. It's like my opinion's right and yours is wrong, and we're going to argue until I scream and the veins pop out of my forehead and everyone says, "Whoa, you're getting red." My whole life everyone said, "You're getting red." It's like my fucking complexion turns red, man.
You're turning red right now.
Yeah. Oh my God, my sisters always used to get me with that. We'd be arguing and be like, "You're turning red right now." So I'm just sitting here debating, you know? If you don't like my answer, let's not talk about my fucking skin complexion as we're in the middle of an argument. If
you just gotta cover your face.
Now. Oh, whenever they said that, I say, "I win," you know? I win.
You do. I actually do think that's how you lose an argument when you go like, "You gotta relax."
It's crazy.
That's a person who doesn't have anything, and they're attacking you personally.
All right, relax.
Relax.
Why don't you say something that's going to win the argument? I'm fucking not relaxing until this thing's over. You know?
Yeah.
God, maybe
you're like Julian. You're like Julian from Big Daddy. I win.
I win
every time we play. You always win cards.
I win.
There you go. That's my expert. Hip Hop Anonymous.
Want to do voicemails?
Sure. Pull up some for you.
What's going on, boys? Connor from New York. This call is for Frankie. Frankie, congratulations, man. I never thought that the young kid from Long Island who broke my eardrums live reacting to the Islanders on the pod would eventually be a dad. That's incredible, man. And your story about the delivery and everything leading up to it and afterwards was moving. And as someone who's always dreamt of being a father, it just gets me so excited for when that day comes. So thank you for that. Good luck the rest of the way. And I just have one question, and I'm sure you've thought about it in the past, but now that it's happened and he's here, Frank the Fourth, if you could pick any sport for him to be a professional in, I don't know, what would you rather be? Golf or hockey, or maybe something else? Have a good one. Congrats again.
Really nice call from Connor. Thank you very much. It was actually getting me a little emotional. It's so nice. I got a lot of messages from people, so thank you to everyone that has reached out. It's been really nice reading through them. I haven't gotten back to all of them, so if you sent me something, I have seen it. A lot of people went through the same stuff. Everyone that is a parent, they give birth, right? Like they're part of the birthing process. But it is amazing how many different stories there are and all the people and all this. It's a stressful moment. So it's like, I didn't think I would tell the whole story and like going through 45 minutes of it, but I got a lot of messages from people that they're going in next week or they're going in a month and they really had no idea what to expect. And to hear that we kind of had some bumps and some hurdles to get over and we got through it. And now like we're the happiest people of all time. It just kind of shows you that there's people in that hospital that are there to just make sure that thing goes well, like that operation is just a successful one. So yeah, I think that I'm happy the way everyone's kind of receiving it. It's been nice. That's a hard question to answer. The first thing that popped in my mind was just I would love to be a hockey dad. Like I would love to have my son be a professional hockey player. That to me that'd be the coolest thing in the world. Obviously anything that he does is going to be the coolest thing in the world. I mean, today he grabbed my finger. I'm like, this kid's an athlete. Like the grip on this kid's insane. Golfer would be incredible, but a golfer is just a tough life. A professional golfer is a tough existence unless you're Rory McIlroy.
And it's lonely.
It's so lonely, and it's like it teaches you a lot. It definitely does. I think I definitely want to hopefully teach him how to play golf and be able to play golf for the rest of my life with him. And it's like a kind of a built-in golfing partner. But I don't know that I don't know. I just think if you polled a lot of people that went for golf for a living, I don't know that you'd get a resounding success story or like positive feedback. I think a lot of it is a grind, and like you said, it's lonely and it's hard and it's all on you, and there's no team aspect, and it's a lot of like self-loathing and like I don't know. To me, like being a part of a team your whole life is just like you have guys to pick you up and like you have that atmosphere of winning and losing with like the guys around you. Like to me, that's like a better existence for someone than it would be like, hey, go out there on the golf course and you have to succeed or else. And it's like, it's all on you. Like, doesn't matter how anyone else plays. Like if you don't play well, you lose. So yeah, there's pros and cons to it for sure. But if I had to choose, I would say hockey.
Yeah. What about baseball?
I would say probably baseball even higher than both of that because it's just the coolest sport ever.
It's awesome.
Go out there. I would love to watch my son just just have a catch and just warm up and just throw seeds and just like, be swaggy and have his pants like right around the tops of his cleats, like nice and loose, like Robbie Cano. Yeah. And have a glove out the back of his right pocket, just kind of like a little batting glove.
What position would you want?
Shortstop or third base or, probably shortstop. Just like a 3/4 sleeve underneath the jersey and a little arm, a wristband and glasses on the top of a Yankee hat. I'm just describing Derek Jeter.
Yeah. No, I don't have a child, but baseball would be a great one. You get to go to, the thing is with like, I think if you're a parent of a kid who likes to play sports, all of them are going to be a grind. Like I'm sure Brennan Jones has stories of like going to hockey games and hockey everything, and it's 4 a.m. and you're driving across Long Island, and like all those are going to there's going to be tough parts of it, but I just think baseball would be a sweet one because you get to go to a baseball diamond all the time. You get to spit seeds, and if your kid's good, like that'd be fucking awesome. Golf's a little lonely.
I think for some reason, and it's a little weird that since Rory's a girl, I don't lean towards getting her into hockey. And it's really odd because I love the sport. It's my favorite sport. But I grew up, I played hockey, baseball, and volleyball. And to me, I think her playing like indoor or beach volleyball, I think she would really enjoy that. Both my brothers played it, so we all kind of played it together.
I love volleyball. I think it's the coolest sport.
It's so fun, man. It's so fun. And I played indoor men's volleyball like my entire high school career. And I don't know, my niece plays hockey for Boston College, and I feel like she kind of like reached a pinnacle, and she kind of just had like her whole career, and then it was like, all right, there's really no professional end to this. And I think, I don't know, with volleyball, like you could at least play beach and like try to do Olympics, and there's leagues and all that stuff. I don't know, but I don't know. I just feel like for some reason it does kind of change from gender to gender for me. Weird.
For sure. There's male sports and female sports. It's just like there's differences, I think. There's definitely differences in terms of like where it can go or build to. But then you got girls like Caitlin Clark that come around. You can just be a basketball player and playing on ABC and making millions of dollars.
Superstar. We got another voicemail.
The long-winded answer to that for me. I'm going to stick with hockey. I think hockey is the one.
I do have another one. Let me play it right here. Mike from Ontario.
Hey boys, Mike from Ontario, Canada. Just calling in because we haven't got a sneeze update in a little while. Trent's been playing some sick golf, but what's the ratio of sneezes to pars? Thanks, boys. Get 'em hard.
The sneeze update it's a lot to a little. We started going over it when we first brought this up, but like I think I sneeze, I guess, more than the normal person. I think I don't even have a number anymore. I sneeze way more than I make pars. I'd have to par every single hole every time I go out there if I did it to match my sneezes.
I think I have more pars than sneezes.
Really?
Yeah. I don't sneeze that often. I sneeze maybe once every couple days. I think I make 4 or 5 pars, 6 pars. I barely sneeze, dude. Barely.
Then you're in the driver's seat because I know. Well, and you're a better golfer than I am, so you're making more pars. And the fact that I sneeze more than you, I'm really behind the 8 ball now.
Yeah, you have no chance. I actually got into that debate, or we had a conversation on the golf course yesterday. How many birdies do you think the average golfer, not the average golfer, the question was for me, like how many birdies do you think I make a year? And I really thought about it. And I think I make less than 30 a year. I really do. I think I make less than 30 birdies a year.
Does your gin have that information?
It might.
I'd be curious in 2024 how many birdies you made. I can count mine on one hand, but
It's just like you go a long time sometimes without making a birdie when you're like a 6 handicap. There are stats. I have stats. I don't know that I have 2024 stats.
They should have that number. That would be. Do they have it? Really grinding on that Gen app.
I just don't have. No, I don't have birdies. Birdies are better based on it based it on 14 rounds though.
Okay.
Birdies are better. Was 10%.
10%. Hold on now. Wait.
That's 1.8 a round.
Yeah. So call it 2 a round seems like a lot though, right?
A lot. I also played really well last year, and I'm definitely. I think my scoring average was like 79, and now I'm like 81.9 or something. I'm almost 82. My scoring average. So it's gone up almost 3 strokes, which is probably like 1 or 2 birdies around, to be honest.
So let's call it. I want to say
1 around.
I would say 1 around.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see if people start tracking how many birdies they have. I mean, and then if it's 1 around, like I really don't log that many 18-hole scores in a year. Like I think last year I probably had around like 30. You know what I mean? Like we play so many scrambles, we play so many alternate shots. When we go on all these trips, like it consumes so much of our time. We're really not playing 18 holes, putting in our scores. So like those are just rounds that like I'm playing with my buddies, and there's really not that many weekends or weekdays that I'm doing that.
I bet I think you're probably somewhere 30 to 40 birdies a year.
Yeah. Interesting.
That feels like a good number for you.
Yeah, I put 25 scores in last year. So it said I basically made like 25 to 30 birdies.
You were right on it. It's interesting.
What's up, guys? This is Misha from Montreal. I just want to start off by saying I really enjoyed hanging with you all at PGA National back in November. Would love to see you guys do more events like that in the future. Calling in to ask some advice from you fellas. My buddies and I are doing our first ever big golf trip to Cabot Cliffs in Nova Scotia, and we're going to be playing 36 holes on one of the days for the first time ever. They don't allow carts on the courses, and I'm concerned about our ability to walk and golf that much in one day. So just wanted to find out what tips would you have for us just to make it an enjoyable experience for all. Thanks a lot.
Wow, what a trip you've got coming up. I would say the first thing to do is really prepare the night before. So like if you guys are staying on property, I think you really can only stay on property at Cabot. I've never been to Cabot, but I've heard it's incredible. I'm sure you're in like a cabin or some sort of scenario right on the golf course. Bring 2 pairs of golf shoes, and the night before that 36, have that second pair of golf shoes. Make sure that they're worn in. Make sure that these are not brand new leather shoes. That's going to be the biggest thing. Your feet are the biggest thing you got to worry about. Make sure you have good socks on. Like invest in like nice socks that they're very comfortable. They're form fitting, that they're able to take on a lot of heat, moisture wicking. Have those on for the first round. And then if you're getting back to your cabin to like kind of refresh in between 36, put on that new pair of socks and new shoes. I think that new sense of putting on a new socks, new shoes, maybe even dip your feet in some cold water in between. Just get those dogs less barking, quiet those dogs a little bit. I think that's going to be huge. You're going to feel like a new man. I really do. I think that little change will be everything for you.
That's good advice. I would have not thought that, but yeah, I mean, these golf trips where guys go, where they do 36 holes, like that's just a lot. And people do it. Guys love doing it. But yeah, that's, especially with no carts, that's a long day. It's a very long day. So
it is. You're so into it when you're out there that you're like, some guy finds something on hole 16 or 17. You're like, man, I want to play so bad. And you go back out there and you end up losing it after 4 or 5 holes. But like that rush of getting a fresh start on a golf trip when you've paid that much money and you've traveled that long. To me, I'm not a big 36 in one day guy, especially on a golf trip, because I want to have the hang time with everyone. When you have 20 guys, 16 guys on a golf trip, you want to be able to see everybody after, and you don't want it to just be like everyone spread out on the golf course the whole entire trip. Once in a while, it is nice to just like, today's a golf day. And like we're golfing all day long. It's a marathon. And the stories are better after, and like everyone just has something that everyone's had something interesting happen to them over 36 holes. So yeah, there's pros and cons, but for me, number one tip: bring 2 pairs of shoes, 2 pairs of good socks, really good socks. We have those Playa de Carmen's, or what are those called? What are those socks that we have in the Barstool Golf store that have the little B cross T on them?
It's
are they
escaping
like Playa
me.
de Carmen or something like that? Or is that a place?
That's a place.
What are they called? Oh, Playa de Campo?
Campo.
Why am I saying Playa?
Del Campo.
Why am I saying Playa? I think they're just called Del Campo. Del Campo socks. Those are legit. And I'm not just saying that because they're on our store. Those socks are legit. I wear them all the time golfing now. They form right around your foot and they're tight right above the toe. And it just locks your foot into the shoe. I'm telling you, it feels real good. Those are great socks. Del Campo.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Have fun on the trip. We're going on a big golf trip to Forest Dunes this summer. We're actually booking all our flights, and Brendan Jones just got an invite to it.
Whoa!
That's right. Brendan Jones is coming to the Rip and Sip 2025. He's on Big Don's team. He's on Team White, filling in for Cousin Greg, who can't make it.
Beyond fired up. Beyond.
Of course you're fired up, man. Like, this is the thing about Brendan Jones is he's traveled. He could be on the screen, by the way. I hate when you fucking talk behind you. Like, you're allowed to come on, unless you're pooping.
It's like the Wizard of Oz. You pooping right now?
You pooping?
I'm not pooping, but I am walking around my apartment right now.
Okay, that's fine. You don't have to show it. Brendan Jones goes to every single trip with us and doesn't really get to hit that many golf shots. So he's
almost
been
zero.
Almost zero. We do need to start baking in more days. Like, and I mean, he's the one that schedules it out, and I'm sure now with baby Rory, he doesn't really want to like stick around for much longer than we should. But like, he schedules it out. He could just schedule out like a 9-hole thing for him and like the producers if he wanted to. We would all be very happy to not golf that day or that 4-hour window and just go get lunch and just look at nothing and not have to do anything. But he doesn't do that. He doesn't really play much, and he just goes to all these resorts, especially Forest Dunes. We had the most fun time at Forest Dunes. We loved that property. We loved the people there. So I knew being able to go back there, Brendan now doesn't have to do anything but enjoy it. He got a little taste, a little appetizer of it. Now he gets to have a full meal and dessert. That I'm very excited about. Like going back to all these spots that we've gone to, having like Brendan and Al, and well, I was almost said Alex, but he's gone with the wind. Brendan and Kyle and Jared and those guys, like being able to get more rounds in now would be a lot of fun. Like once they've seen it, we film there, kind of go back to the places and film and just play. That would be nice because it's a lot. I mean, Brendan can talk to it, but he doesn't get to fucking.
And I actually remember too when you were planning this trip, you were like, "What place should we go to? What resort?" Like, you know, you did Paynes Valley recently, and I think I even threw out. I was like, "Dude, a not low key, but maybe underrated place that we've been because it's been a while since we've been to Forest Dunes." I remember saying to you, I loved the vibes of Forest Dunes, and I think if you wanted to do like your buddy's trip there, here's the guy Don. His name's Don Holinsky. Like, hit him up. Like, I'm sure he'd love to have you. And when you wound up saying like, "Yo, we're actually going to pull off Forest Dunes," and I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude! Like, you should.
So
that
sick.
place is so good." And it's so high on my list, and I just love the vibe. You're like in the woods, the loop. You play both ways, and then you have Forest Dunes, which is like an elite spot. They have that bootlegger par 3. I remember it so well, and it's been like 4 years or so. So when you tossed out that invite, I was like, "Fuck!"
I do remember that trip more than most trips for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. Like, I remember hitting the ball. We hit glow in the dark balls.
Yeah,
we were all over the bootlegger. I remember the Forest Dunes course very. Like, I remember like those closing holes coming back towards the clubhouse. There was a lot of water holes. Remember that 19th hole at Forest Dunes? The one that's like right in the middle of the water, right beyond the right like beyond the bar right there. And the loop obviously is incredible. And the fact that you get to take carts. That's the biggest part.
Huge.
A lot of these places you don't get to take carts. And I get that they're trying to like keep it to some sort of standard of golf and they want to like eliminate the type of golfer that only wants to take carts, but you just eliminate too many people that can't play these resorts that have to walk it. Like, Cabot is a grind, dude. You can't take a 75-year-old out there to
Bandon's
Cabot.
a grind.
Bandon's a grind.
Yeah.
Stream Song is a grind without carts. Like, grind.
I don't know. I would love to know, like, from the people who make those decisions, like, you are cutting out, like, you're just cutting out a huge percentage of the population. A lot of the older guys, they got new knees, they got new hips, they got new everything. And they just can't go to these places. I don't fully agree with that decision that they make.
We had a conversation at Macklemore with one of the guys that's like part of the whole production of putting it on. And the Keep, the new course that we played that's still in preview mode, is going to be walking only. And we said, like, man, like, it's just makes it hard for a lot of people. And they were like, to be able to build the course that they wanted to, like, it has to stay walking only. Like you don't want that cart traffic. You don't want that type of terrain being kind of like messed up with the carts. It's just like walking path. I mean, walk from tee to green, and just like it's its own world. Like you're out there and like you're one with the golf course. All the other places that they have, the Highlands and the other course that they'll build, you can rip around on golf carts and you can have the time of your life. But this is like a special property that's going to be only for just like hitting golf balls and walking on them.
That might be what it is, where there's multiple courses and all of them are walking.
Yeah.
Like then you are just like, you can't come here if you're of a certain age or your body's falling apart. Like I like the mix. Like if there's 4 golf courses, do 2 carts, 2 non, like, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Completely cutting out those people. I don't like.
I think some of the places do give carts for like handicap reasons, or like if someone's going out to like, fulfill their bucket list golf course, they'll give you a cart to like rip around. I mean, like carts do, like they can just drive on the grass. It's not like they don't move. Like, I mean, they have like Beef rode a cart at freaking the Keep. So
true.
Like you can take a cart out there. It's not like they don't have them on property. So I don't want to like dog them too much, like a lot of the places, but they're primarily just walking, which is a bummer, because like it definitely eliminates like my crew. Like I have a lot of the older guys that that's who I want to experience it with. I want to experience it with my dad, my father-in-law, the uncles, the cousins, all the guys that like, they don't get to do this for a living. They don't get to go to these places. They don't get to see all this stuff. This is a once a year type of trip. And I'm not going to make them freaking grind it out where they're not going to be able to go they're not going to be able to go to work when they get home.
No way.
No.
Who's the oldest guy?
The Big E. He's like 81 years old.
Yeah.
He shoots like 88s though. He's fucking unbelievable.
You're not leaving him at home.
No, he's not walking Bandon Dunes. It's too much.
No, that's what I mean. Like you would never have a trip where he couldn't go.
No.
Right.
That's why Big Cedar's so great too. Carts everywhere, just rip.
So good.
Let's get another one in here before we head out.
Sure. Just want the folks to know that I am beyond amped to go on the rip.
Yeah, I kind of cut you off there, which I do all the time. Sorry to listeners. Sorry to everyone on the podcast. You're going to be a great addition, and he knows everyone.
Yeah,
Brendan's
that's the
been
best
a part
part
of the family forever, so he knows all the guys from my wedding. He knows everything. So, and he's just been in the mix of my life for a long time now. So all the guys, I mean, he's on Big Rob's team, Tom's team. Like they're so pumped.
Yeah,
we're in. Here you go.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Wisconsin. Big fan of the show, huge fan of you guys, and I love that you added Beef, who's repping Wisconsin for Barstool. Quick question, maybe you guys can help settle a group chat debate we have going on. Kind of random, kind of silly, but I want you to think about it and let me know what you think. So when you blink, are your eyelids blinking hamburger or hot dog style? Think about when you fold a piece of paper, the hamburger or hot dog style fold. Are your eyes blinking hamburger or hot dog style? I'm team hot dog. A lot of my group chat is team hamburger. Would love to hear your thoughts. Thanks so much. Keep up the great work.
Sam.
Shout out to Sam. Thanks for the voicemail.
Shout out to Wisconsin. What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I understand what she's saying. Brendan, do you understand?
Dude, I don't know. I thought maybe you guys would. I was like
trying to get us to blink.
I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. I thought
hamburger or hot dog style. She said if you folded a paper.
Hamburger or hot dog style.
Oh, does she mean like it's like 2 pieces? Oh, I see. I kind of think I see what she's saying. Is it like 2 pieces like going like this, or is it like that?
I think you're right, but I still don't understand it fully.
I actually don't understand.
This is the Internet Invitational list.
Oh, keep. So wait, I've got post
which actually got thrown out because this is the first one. So toss that out.
All right, so I've got a post-it note here. That I actually don't know what they're saying. And I don't have an answer because I don't understand it.
I think she just tried to mess with us.
It worked.
I'm gonna type in eyelids hamburger or hot dog style. Can y'all imagine if our eyes closed hot dog style or instead of ham? The way they open and close is much more similar to hot dog style because hot dog buns are usually connected on one side, whereas hamburger buns are completely.
I just watched Frankie's brain disintegrate. I want to give Sam an answer because we really appreciate the call, and it sounds like it's tearing apart their group chat, but I don't understand it enough to actually have an answer. Frankie's scrolling now. He's reading a lot over there.
because I feel like I'm in another dimension. I'm like on a Facebook thread and people are like debating it. Like, and I still don't even know what it means. They all know what it means.
We might have to get back to you here. I got to do some reading on.
I think they're trying to mess with us.
You think so? Work to a T. We've been flustered for 3 minutes.
Doesn't even make sense. It's obviously hamburger because there's no connection in the back.
Yeah. If I had to give an answer, I would give hamburger, but I'm not fully confident in that because I don't understand the meanings. I really don't. I've been staring at my own eyelids for 5 minutes, watching myself close my eyes, and it doesn't resemble a hamburger bun or a hot dog bun. I guess we'll put our vote for hamburger, but I don't feel confident about it.
This one really, I'm not going to sleep tonight.
Yeah, this is going to set Frankie back for a while. Yeah, I'm going to be thinking about it all day now. SportClips isn't just where you get a haircut, it's your playbook for looking fresh. Walk in, catch the game, and sit back while the pros in men's hair handle the rest. And when you're done, walk out feeling like you're ready to take on anything. No hassle, no surprises, just a solid cut every time. It's simple, it's easy, and it's made for guys who want to feel like they've got the home field advantage. I go to SportClips all the time, a couple times a month. There's one like 10 minutes from me. I go on the app, I check in online. It shows how long your wait's going to be, so you don't show up and you're not waiting. You show up when it says to, you get right in, they sit you in a chair, they cut your hair. It really is great. The whole check-in thing on SportClips, so you can tell when to get there at the right time, is a game changer for me. And it says right here, if you want to check your real-time wait times, download the app, check in online. I do that every single time. SportClips, I get the MVP treatment. They cut your hair, they take you in the back, they give you shampoo, they massage your scalp, they give you a hot towel. It is a phenomenal, phenomenal place. It's the best place to get your hair cut. I cannot recommend it highly enough. SportClips, the haircut experience, dialed in for guys. It's a game changer.
If someone gave you $1 million, would you live
2 chicks at the same time?
What would I do with $1 million, man? I'll tell you what I'd do with $1 million. Two chicks at the same time, man. Bam.
Great movie.
Yeah. Wake my ass up. 6 a.m. every day this week. Yeah, I'm working at the McDonald's over there on Sanitas.
What were you gonna say?
If someone gave you $1 million, would you spend? I'm trying to think of because someone had this. I saw something on Twitter the other day of I don't know if it was animal activists talking about zoos or something like that. It was gorillas in in a glass casing at a zoo, and it got me thinking what that existence is like, and it's almost like a Mr. Beast challenge. But would you spend a long period of time living in a zoo atmosphere where people could come watch you do the things that you need to do to get through? Let's call it a month or a year. Would you live with all of your a glass house? Would it be worth a certain amount of money? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't. And obviously $1 million, I'm probably going to grind out anything to do it. I don't know that I'd really be able to live with people watching everything that I'm doing in the household, the way I'm walking around a house and just being kind of a piece of shit. Imagine how uncomfortable you'd have to live if everyone was watching you at every single moment. You'd never feel at ease.
I also think your habits would change. You would try to present in a way that you're I'm a normal person. If, not saying that I'm not a normal person, but I'm sure I do things that people would be oh, wow, look at this guy. Look what this guy's doing. But I think you would at least for the first couple of weeks, I think you would probably try to
smack yourself with chicken
with uncooked chicken thighs. I don't understand but there might be a point where it's maybe 3 weeks in, I'm I have to go back to being myself, and for better or for worse, I'm just gonna have to do that. And now people are really watching who you are, and it would probably have to be a good amount of money, I think.
Yeah, I think I threw too much money out there. Would 250 grand would you do a month in a glass house? I think I'd still do it just to see what it's like.
I mean, you're pooping, You're doing all that stuff. You're showering. That now it seems illegal.
You are offered $1 million if you can consume 1 million calories of food within 1 year. What food are you choosing?
I love chicken nuggets.
What are your favorite chicken nuggets?
Is it even possible to consume 1 million calories? Like, would you die?
Let's do the math. How many calories do you think are in a McDonald's chicken nugget?
Like a 10 piece?
Let's call it a 10 piece.
How many calories? Probably like 900.
The calorie content of a 10 piece McDonald's chicken McNugget is approximately 410 calories.
Oh man.
Right. So 1 million divided by 410 equals 2,439. That's how many 10-piece nuggets you need.
So times that by 10.
Oh, sorry. No, we did that wrong.
Okay.
I did that so wrong. It's crazy. Wait, no. That's how many calories you need to consume. No.
Oh, we've reached this very stupid part of the podcast. Where it's now becoming evident, although it's been evident for an hour and 40 minutes, that two idiots are on this podcast.
Yeah, you times that by 10, and that's how many nuggets you have to eat.
So it's 20,000 nuggets?
24,390 nuggets divided by 365. You got to eat 66 chicken nuggets a day.
Oh, done.
60? No way. 66 a day? Oh, God.
What am I going to have for dinner after I eat my 66 nugget lunch?
Wow.
More possible than I thought it was going to be, but you would be, I mean, there was that old documentary, Super Size Me, where that guy like didn't do this exactly, but something similar, and it was not easy. 66 every day. That becomes a burden.
I love this little Reddit. There's a Reddit page called Hypotheticals that I stumbled upon when I just opened Reddit just like before. I was like an hour ago to see what the hell we were going to talk about. This one says you get $1 billion, but nobody can remember you.
Just all the time?
You are offered $1 billion. If you accept the money from that moment on, nobody ever will remember you or have any memory that you ever existed. You are still able to interact with people. However, if they look away for you for 5 or more seconds, they completely forget everything about you and have no memory of your existence.
No, you would go crazy. You would go insane.
You do not show up in pictures, recorded video, or live video feeds. Only artistic renderings of you created by other people will serve as physical evidence that you do exist. Your money is held in an anonymous account. You will have access to money wherever you go.
You would go crazy.
I could do that, man.
No. That's sick shit. Because you would go crazy. Everybody. Because you do. You know, you don't need 1 million friends, but you need 3.
So as I read that, it got worse because like if it's like everyone in your life doesn't remember you, you might be a sicko that's like, I'm going to write everyone off in my life and I'm just going to take $1 billion. That might be like an out for some people.
Yeah.
But in this scenario, it's saying the second someone stops interacting with you, they forget that you ever existed. So you never actually hold on to any relationship or anything.
That would drive me insane. Like I'm a guy who I don't need a lot in terms of interactions, but I need people to at least know who I am, like in my life. I can't keep explaining to people like I'm Trent and we're friends. It's 51st dates every single day of your life with everybody. You're loving this. You're going to go through.
This one says you get $2,000 a day if nobody notices that you have a missing shadow. What's the number of days you could go? Your shadow completely disappears. No other changes. But if anyone outside your immediate family ever says something akin to you missing your shadow, you die instantly.
I think you could go pretty long. I think you really could. How often are you looking at people's shadows?
Imagine the moment when you step outside in the sun and someone's like, bro, you not have a shadow and you're dead. You're like, no,
gone.
Woo! That just made me laugh so fucking hard.
I think you'd get away with that for a long time. But that's not fun because, yeah, you're getting $2,000 a day, but you're like, eventually someone's going to notice. So you've already signed your death warrant. We've really reached the part of the podcast where it's like,
you must decide right now how many days you'll go for. You cannot change your mind on the duration once it's set. Each day you survive, you earn $2,000. Once you stop, your shadow returns and you're safe forever.
Okay. That's
how
a good
long
stipulation.
how long are you saying you'll last? Are you calling it a year?
No.
Are you calling it a month? Dude, no one's ever noticed my shadow, but I also don't know that I don't know what it would look like if someone didn't have a shadow.
You would have to do a month, and then I would just say I'm not going anywhere for a month.
Dude, shadows like cast on everything. Like you're holding your baby, and like the shadow casts on the baby from the light. So like you're telling me like the light would go like right through me. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm holding baby Frankie under my arms, I'm like casting a shadow onto him with just like my body. So like, is someone gonna walk in and be like, why is he illuminated? Like
that's why it's such a good hypothetical, because shadows are so like you don't notice it when it's there, but when it's not there, you're probably gonna be like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Well, yeah, it's just like, I don't know, like you're out at night and like a lamppost hits you and it's just like there's nothing around you. You know what I mean?
I would say a month, and then I just wouldn't go anywhere for a month.
Yeah, just hunker down. Ooh, that was a good laugh. God, that really got me, because it's like that moment where you're like, "Fuck, I think this guy's." I just like you just see someone like start to notice that you might not have a shadow, and they're just kind of looking over there, being like, what's different about that guy right now?"
Like,
you know,
nothing. I'm just a guy.
What? Me?
I'm just a guy.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna check this. I'm gonna follow this Reddit thread.
Yeah, it's a good one. All right, got anything else?
$100,000 a year, but you have to wear your pajamas all day long for the rest of your life. Taking it.
No, you wouldn't have any, like, your significant other when you're like, all right, we're going to dinner.
All right, $1 million to wear pajamas for the rest of your life. $1 million a year. You have to wear pajamas.
Yeah, because then you're Hugh Hefner. Then you were just living Hugh Hefner's existence.
Yeah. Now you're living. That's it. That's the show. We'll come back with more of those in the coming weeks here as we rev things up. Go watch Breaking 85. That video is out. It is a very, very exciting video to go watch. It's hard to kind of promote it because you don't want to say what happened, but go watch it. Let us know what you think, and make sure you subscribe to this. If you listen to this show for an hour and 54 minutes, honestly, if you've listened to us talk about really nothing, you got to go give this a subscription. You got to go subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you're subscribing on Spotify, Apple, the whole deal. We love you very much. And we will see you guys next Tuesday. See you next Tuesday. Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.